Hello YouTube. The video you're about to see is a video of me 2 years ago, because that was my freshman year of college and I'm a junior now. Um, a video of me taking out my dreadlocks, or in reality, it was just knotted locks of hair on my head. And it was my real hair, but like I do not like I don't have afro textured hair, so like they're not dreadlocks. um, and I think so. The history behind that is the reason that I had like what I call dreadlocks, and I mean it was like, yeah, like obviously that was very problematic. But I mean, so the history behind it would be that when I was younger, I never actually knew that I had curly hair. Like here, you can see. Um, but and that's mostly because my I like I my mom's Asian, and like she has like the straight Asian hair, so it was obvious like she didn't really know, like she didn't understand that like I had curly hair. And then I just I just assumed I had like bad dry hair, which is like bad if like depending on like what standards of beauty you're talking about. um So as a kid, I'd always just like I would never know what to do with my hair. I mean, I don't think anyone else really paid that much attention to it except for me, because it's on my head, so obviously like I'm gonna take note of it. um, yeah, so then I would always just like try to comb it out, and just like because I just didn't understand that like my hair is like not straight, so like I can't just like curl and comb it out, and like I was like I just like never understood like why I couldn't just like get like that Justin Bieber flow like. So yeah. Mm. So then by when I was a senior in high school when I first like started to knot my hair up. I looked on YouTube to like look it up, and like I mean the guy that I use as a reference mostly. I don't know if he still has his channel now, but his name was Notlocks. He was a biracial Canadian dude. He's like biracial is in black and white. Um, and I figured, like I'm a biracial person too. Like, I could just follow him and follow his example. Um, so then, yeah, I followed his techniques, and like although like I basically like twisted them. I didn't use any products because like I mean, okay, like I had knotted up hair, but like I wasn't like dirty. um, so I knotted it up, and then I would twist. I would just like keep twisting it, and then like when I had, I don't know. I think I explained in the next video, so go feel free to just like wait for a few minutes, and then you'll be able to see it. Um, so then I got it, and then I went into college with my dreadlocks. Um, and then college, like no one knows who you are, um, and just a lot of people read me as part or as black, or obviously not fully black because I like, yeah. But like they assumed I was part black. I think just because like my hair, what white man would like be walking around with dreadlocks, and plus like my face, it's not like it's obviously like I don't look white. Oh, to Americans in America, I don't look white. um, yeah, but then they just assumed like he's like probably just biracial, like part black. And then the thing is like I never said I was black. But the thing is I never like sometimes I just like if someone assumed it, I would just let them assume that because I didn't. That was like a conversation I didn't want to engage in, um, which is like I mean obviously selfish on my part. Um, and then I just like I didn't go with it, but like I mean like people read me as part black, and I was like okay with it. Um, and then after a while, I mean so to get some better foundation on this, I always knew what cultural appropriation was. Like as a person of color living in a predominantly white um, world, especially in the U.S. I understood like what it was, and like I obviously like if someone has like a Chinese tattoo, it's like they have the right to get whatever tattoo they want. But some I remember one time I was at Millennium Park in Chicago, which is where I'm from. Um, and this one girl, like she had I forget exactly what it said, but she had some Chinese tattoos on her back. And then I went up to her and I was like, "Oh, that's like I like your tattoos. Like, do you speak Chinese? Like, do you know what it means?" And she's like, "No." And I mean, I knew what it meant, but I forget what it was exactly. And then I was like, "Oh, okay." And then she's like, "Are you gonna make fun of me?" I'm like, "No." And then the way she reacted, asking that like if I was gonna make fun of her, that meant that she knew what she was doing was wrong, or at least she knew that other people perceived what she had as wrong. Um, you know, and then and I guess that's kind of how I react when people like talked about my hair when I had the fake dreads. Um, I would always be in denial about it, and I also like didn't think I thought like also as a person of color I wasn't capable of participating in cultural appropriation, which is not true. Obviously not true. Uh, and then I think just like I think like by the middle of the end of my first semester freshman year, I just realized I was just being selfish and I had to stop. And then then I decided to go back to my hair. And actually, that's when I found out my hair was curly. And it wasn't curly because of the dreads. The hair I have now that was like 2 years ago, and I cut it I had long hair before and I cut it, and this is like still curly. So this is my real hair, like my natural hair texture. Um, yeah, and then it's just like the process of me becoming like de-appropriating myself. Um, and it was a good journey. And I learned a lot, and I hope this experience that I had could maybe teach other people to understand. Um, so yeah, I won't keep you waiting. Here's the video of me.
Okay, so I decided to make this video because um, when I told people I was going to be getting rid of my dreads, a lot of people were asking me if I was going to cut them off, and I'm not. I'm brushing them out. Um, and when I told people that, they were really confused and didn't really know what I meant. So that is why I'm making this video to show you guys how I brush out my dreadlocks. So I'm going to take one right here. Um, yeah, see these two ones I already brushed out. I just put them in little twists so like to keep them out of my face when I do the rest of my hair. But here, see, like they're not locks. They just already brushed them out. But here's one that is still a lock, um, and I'll show you how I brush it out. So I'm going to use my crochet needle, which is actually what I use to make my dreadlocks. Um, and then you go to the very end of the lock, and you just kind of like you have to use a lot of strength, but no, not too much, but like put a good amount of energy into it, and then just keep pushing. And if it takes too long, or if you can't move at all, that means you're probably too high on the dread, so you have to move lower. Um, yeah, and so I've only done two so far. Actually, before, like when I had dreads in the process, um, I actually did brush them out before because some of them were just too fat for me to manage. So then I just brushed it out and then redid them. But which is why like a lot of it's like if you like looked at old pictures of me or something, like how they kind of like changed, like certain ones just got like drastically longer and skinnier for no apparent reason. Well, now, now you know my secret. Um, yeah, that was why. And then well, and like it also they didn't contrast very well, which is why like a lot of the long skinny new ones that I made I kind of blended together, which is why a lot of my dreads currently look like two-stranded twists. Um, like this one right here. is a 2-stranded twist one. If you want to get a better look. You can see like it's two like distinct. I don't know. There's two distinct locks, but like I combine them together, and then over time they kind of naturally grew together. But it still didn't really take that much. So yeah, I'm just continue to do this. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. It's like 10 o'clock right now, and it started at 9:30, and I've already done 2 locks, so I'm making pretty good progress. Okay, well, I guess this is a good time to end my video, because like I have nothing really else to say. But I might make another thing of how my hair looks when I'm done brushing out my locks. But yeah, okay, so
hold up, they don't love you like I love you. Slow down, they don't love you like I love you. Back up, they don't love you like I love you. Step down, they don't love you like I love you. Can't you see there's no other man above you? What a wicked way to treat the girl that loves you. Hold up.